Hi everyone, welcome to Stampin' Storytellers. I have a card today using the Painted Poppies stamp set, and I'm using my sentiment. I'm just using the thank you from the Here's a Card. This stamp set can be found in our annual catalog. The Painted Poppies stamp set is in our new Spring 2020 Mini Catalog, and I will bring that in. It is part of a mega suite in that it has designer series paper, 2 bundles that have coordinating dies, some sequins, seam binding, and then Peaceful Poppies elements as well. So today I'm only using the Painted Poppies stamp set. I'm not using the dies, but they are available to purchase. And as a reminder, if you do purchase the bundle, it's $71. So in Canada, if you spend $60, you get to choose a free Celebration item. So Celebration is right now through March 31st, and there are lots of items to choose from in here. So let's get started with a Poppy Parade card base. And this is cut the long way, so it's 4 1/4 by 11, and we'll fold that in half. Then I have a layer that's 5 1/4 by 4 for the inside, and we'll start with that. We're going to ink up the larger poppy image and stamp that right down near the bottom. And then in the stamp set are kind of paint spatter images. So we're just going to use those to fill it in. So I have Poppy Parade, and my ink pad needs to be re-inked, but I purposely didn't because I like the look of this. But if you have a recently inked ink pad, then you'll want to stamp off first before you do that layer. And then for the stems, we're going to use Garden Green and the little ink spatter image. So there's for our inside. Tuck that in there. Then I have a layer of Whisper White that's 3 3/4 by 5. And I'll bring in just a scrap piece of paper because I'm going to go over the edge. So the same poppy image, we'll ink that up in basic black, in Memento Tuxedo Black. And we're going to ink it, and I just got ink on the paper already. Ink it up and stamp there. And then ink it one more time and try really hard to line it up so that it's straight. Like that. So then, similar step as the inside, we'll stamp the bigger spatter over the poppies, and then the little spatter in Granny Apple Green. I might have said Garden Green the first time. There we go. So that's our front of our card. Now we're going to take the stitched rectangle die so this is the 3rd smallest stitched rectangle, and we're going to line it up centered, and we're going to run that through the Big Shot to give us this. So then we're going to take a layer of Poppy Parade that's just an 1/8 inch bigger than our stitched rectangle, and we're going to layer those up on the front of our card. So I'm going to close that for a second. So let's do that. Now I just got red ink on it. Not a surprise. Here's a layer of basic black that's 5 1/8 by 3 7/8, and we'll adhere that first. Then I'll adhere this frame piece. Then adhere our rectangle to our Poppy Parade layer. And then we'll pop that layer up on dimensionals. And center that. Try and line up your stems. Sometimes it might not be totally perfect, but there's the start of our card. Then on a scrap piece of Whisper White, I'm going to stamp the largest poppy image in basic black again, in Memento. And while I have that out, I'll stamp our sentiment as well, just on a 1/2 inch strip of Whisper White. So I'll let that dry. Then I'm going to bring in the light and dark Poppy Parade Stampin' Blend markers. So I'll start with my dark one. I'm just going to color the center. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then the darker side, I'll switch to the bullet tip. And here. And then on a few of these lines here. And then because I'm cutting this out, you could color it neatly and fill it in nicely. Because I'm cutting it out and I'm not using the framelits, you could actually just scribble. So this is the fast mass production way of coloring these, because then I have to fussy cut it out anyway. And you'll see that it still blends that darker image in, or the darker marker in first, and we'll let that dry. And here's one that I have that I've already hand cut out. So we're gonna add that up on dimensionals as well. If you haven't colored like that, it's still therapeutic. And it's way faster than coloring them in the lines. Then I'll take my sentiment strip here and I'm just going to cut it on an angle. And we'll just adhere that flat onto our card using our regular adhesive. And stick that right down there. Now I do have a little red ink spot, and to fix that we'll add some sequins. So these are the basic pack adhesive back sequins. See if I have any white ones left. Maybe not. Here. This is the problem, is that they all kind of fall off. So we're gonna get the glue dot back on there and stick one there and one here and one up there. So that fixed my little red ink spot, and you'll never know. And I didn't even glue this in either, because the whole time I was making the card, I was thinking about that red ink. There we go. Now we have a finished card with the inside. Lots of room to write still. You could do the full bottom. I thought it might be a little bit too much because the front is like that, but totally up to you. I hope you enjoyed my card using the Painted Poppies stamp set today. Please head over to my blog, stampinstorytellers.blogspot.com, and you can see more photos of this card, as well as you can shop with me directly from there for any of the products I've used today. Make sure to use this current host code to also receive a make and take packet in the mail. Thank you. Bye.